Women have won gold in the hockey. Can the men do the same? We'll go out to the National Hockey Stadium right now. The national anthems are playing. After that, we'll be joined by Michael Thompson and Richard Agus.
A lot of Australians in this crowd will now pause for the Malaysian national anthem. The national anthem, a magnificent crowd here at Bukit Jalil. Superb crowd. This capacity is 15, but we believe there is around 20,000 people. Every square centimetre of concrete has been taken. They've filled the aisles, the stairs, the stairwells. And Richard Agus, an amazing atmosphere. And Australia will start the game as favourites. Can they win this game? And what can you see them doing? Try and get over and get that gold medal.
Well, I think they can win the match. In fact, I'm predicting right now that they'll win by a couple of goals. But the first thing that I'd like to mention to everybody is they've made an unusual starting lineup. Stephen Holt, who's a fullback in this lineup, has been selected to play at right half. Paul Godoyne, who normally plays in the half line, is on the bench. Jimmy Elmer's on the bench, and Brent Livermore is on the bench. So they've gone with a calculated risk. They've actually started with the lineup that did so well for them in extra time against England in the semi-final. This is a very important part of the game for Australia to get away to a good start. With a capacity crowd of 20,000 people, probably 19,500 of them going for Malaysia. Australia have to not only dominate the game, they must dominate the crowd. They must get the crowd quiet, so otherwise the crowd will pump this Malaysian team full on into action, and we'll have a game where there's endless noise, and the Malaysians will be absolutely pumped for this game.
Now Australia come into this tournament with a younger side. Coach Terry Walsh making a number of significant changes. Has that worked for Australia so far?
Well, I think that the key thing, one of the key things that came out of the semi-final win was the excellent form of Adam Commens, Michael Brennan and Brent Livermore. Those three really stood up in the hurly-burly of tough international competition in front of a massive crowd. And it's not surprising to me that Commens and Brennan are in the starting lineup tonight, playing in that key midfield role. They're the engine of the team, supported by Jay Stacey, and Jay Stacey will, at centre half, will play a very important role, but I'm sure Terry Walsh will swing the interchanges.
All right, we're almost ready for a start. There's Norsaiful, one of the stars of this Malaysian team. They really are the heroes here in KL. We've had capacity crowds every night at the hockey stadium. And Australia, gold medal favourites. Can they win the gold in KL? And we're underway. Davies goes straight to Stacey. Important for Australia to get a good start here. Duff looking for Smith. And we'll see the ball taken from the side by Noor Aslan.
And the umpires for this match, umpires Sumish Putra from Canada and Keith Roper from England. And of course for them, it's very important as well. This is probably the most important match they've umpired in their life.
Calvin decides to go back to Menindajit. Noor Aslan, Smith is with him. And it'll be an Australia turnover there. And Stephen Holt will come and take it from the side.
Terry Walsh getting himself organised. As you can see, he'll have an earpiece in. We'll be talking to his assistant coach, Jim Irvine, who will be high up in this stand, relaying information to Terry in terms of changes and tactics. And very early in the match, I expect to see a bit of an arm wrestle where both teams just sussing out the opposition, just making sure getting players into form. This is Commens.
Puts on York, the Australian captain. He's down deep in attack. And Australia will take it from the side. Sproul.
A little bit of pressure.
An Australian hit from just outside the circle. Daniel Sproul to take it. Lots of players in there. This is Stephen Davies.
Penalty corner.
Well, a great start for Australia. A penalty corner.
A great piece of set play and a great run by Daniel Sproul. Caused the turnover. Ball pushed into the circle. Stephen Davies. Davies, a very experienced member of this international team. This Australian team with vast international experience. As we see Paul Lissick, the German coach, who's in charge of this Malaysian team.
Jay Stacey is there. Stephen Davies is back. Adam Commens is also there. Michael Brennan will push the ball back in. Stacey with a shot to save. Roslin has saved. It's another penalty corner to Australia. Well, this brilliant young keeper from Malaysia. He's had a superb tournament.
Been almost unbeatable. As we watch the replay, the ball goes outside the circle, only just in fact. Stacey hammers it, but hits the goalkeeper in the middle. There's Commens in there contesting, and another penalty corner awarded by umpire Keith Roper from England.
So Brennan again to push it in. Stacey's there, so's Commens. Davies to the left. Commens with a flick. It's in! Australia have scored!
Adam Commens, you little champion, exactly what Australia needed to get this game underway.
It's a superb start by Australia. Adam Commens, the set play from the penalty corner, 1-0.
As he stood up in this tournament, he is the most improved player in international hockey. He was a reserve for the World Cup. He's come here into this team and been absolutely superb. There's the dummy by Stacey and Davies, and there's Commens. He gets the goalkeeper wide and he fires it. It's exactly what Australia needed, and you can see it on the other replay on the other angle. There's the dummy again. Commens, the youngster in the team, fires the ball into the backboard, and that's exactly what Australia needed to start this gold medal game.
Well, we haven't seen that variation used in this tournament. We've watched all of Australia's games. They pull it out for the first time, and what a time to use it, very successfully. 4 minutes of play gone in this gold medal match. Australia 1-0. It's just the start they wanted. And Malaysia have not been in this situation so early, under so much pressure and behind.
And of course, they're a very young team. They've got a lot of young players in their side. They've got 5 players under 19, and this sort of pressure in front of this sort of crowd.
This is Holt on the right side, Brennan on the 25.
Hasn't Brennan been good in this tournament?
He's been superb, the playmaker, and helped score the winning goal in the semi-finals to get Australia through. Holtz. 1-2 with Stacey, who goes back to his captain, Michael York. Brennan again. He'll be a marked man tonight, Michael Brennan. That pass from Sproul. Oh, well done by Hiskins. Norsafel went with him inside the circle. Intense pressure here on Malaysia.
Good bit of work out of defence there by the Malaysian number 8, Lum.
That'll be a free hit off Daniel Sproul. Kuhan to take it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Malaysians respond, because in nearly every match they've either been level or in front, and now they have to come from behind.
There's a big deflection. It'll go across, and it came off an Australian player. So we'll see the Malaysians take it from the side. There's a lot of Australian support here. The crowd has quietened down considerably after that early goal from Australia. So Malaysia in attack for the first time. Norsafel, he has plenty of power from here. He'll push it through the circle. Met by Sproul. And the Australians about to clear. Davies on, nice ball. Brennan, he's got some pace. Michael Brennan out to Smith, across the 25. Still with Michael Brennan, he'll have a shot.
It's wide. Well, good play by Australia. They broke out of defence with pace. Give the ball to Matthew Smith on the outside. Smith from Tamworth in New South Wales, combining very well with Brennan. There we see the pass. The ball comes back to Brennan. He punches it, but slightly wide.
Well, an exciting start by Australia. Wonderful start. We knew they'd come out attacking early. and it's worked. Malaysia on the back foot. This young Malaysian side that's done so well to make this final. They are the toast of KL. There's Paul Lissick, their coach. And Noor Saiful will take this from the side. Sproul again is happy to stop it, and Malaysia take it from the side.
Win, lose or draw, the performance of the Malaysian team has been nothing short of a fairy tale.
Well done by Sproul to his captain York, out to Brennan again in space. It's another promising move. Michael Brennan over the 25. Matthew Smith, the goal scorer in the semi-finals. Oh, nice tackle. Murnawan robbed of it. Australia quickly through Brennan. Inside the circle, who's there? Well, it goes harmlessly through.
Yeah, Stephen Davies and Jeremy Hiskins were on the same line, and Adam Commens was standing just outside the circle, and Brennan's pass absolutely bisected the gap.
Malaysia have rarely been over their own 25. It's been Australia throughout, dominating the first 8 minutes of this gold medal final. Kyril with the break. Murnawan, he can't trap it. Stacey to Duff. He'll come across to Sproul. Back to Stacey in the centre. He was looking for a pass to Holt. It hit a Malaysian player, so Australia will get the free hit.
Murnawan, on his birthday, scored the winning goal for Malaysia.
This has found Jeremy Hiskins. He couldn't quite trap it. It was a very powerful hit from Stacey. Hiskins gets it back, but in the eyes of the umpire, illegally. So a free hit to Malaysia. That's Jeremy Hiskins on your screen.
Of course, just Hiskins scored that very important goal for Australia within 2 minutes of full time in the semi-final match against England.
Comes across to Michael York, the Australian captain. Back to Duff. Australia have only lost one game in this tournament. That was a qualifying match against South Africa. Back to York. If you've just joined us, Australia are leading 1-0. They scored in the first 4 minutes, thanks to Adam Commons. A beautiful set play from the penalty corner spot. Smith on the break. Commons over the 25. Still Adam Commons.
Well, good tackle by Noor Saiful. He needed to, because behind him was loitering Jeremy Hiskins.
Another promising move by Australia. Commons and Smith. The cross. Oh, well, it was lifted, but only just. Hiskins was there dangerously. If he got a deflection, this crowd has hushed considerably.
Exactly as I said, when you play in this environment, it's exactly the same if you're playing in Lahore or Karachi or New Delhi. If you get the crowd against you, you're struggling all afternoon. But if you can keep them quiet by scoring early, then they just sit there and watch.
So it's Australia who's made the play early. Noor Aslan on the left. He goes back to Maninderjit, but he's had a good tournament. Looks for Murnawan. Can he trap it? He can. And now finds Lum, who comes out to Kuhan. And what will Kuhan do? He finds Murnawan again. Good tackle by York.
Oh, great tackle by Michael York.
You're watching the 16th Commonwealth Games, back at the men's hockey final in just a moment.
I think Australia will win the Ashes.
Coming soon to Win Television.
You can't go past the new Mazda Protege.
This is sport. This is Burley Sport. Approved by the Australian Institute of Sport, Burley Ultrasport reduces bouncing by up to 50%. Unsupported breasts can bounce up to 8 centimetres, which may lead to permanent damage and sag. Crop tops and ordinary bras don't give the extra support you need. So don't just play sport, play Burley Sport. No wonder I feel so good.
in the air. It's going to be caught by... Unbelievable!
Uproar today.
You were just grandstanding. That wasn't in the game plan.
I would have sinned in the lot of you.
I couldn't help it. Yeah? Take a look at that.
Unbelievable! One of the balls has broken ranks. Oh, that's a giant hit.
There he is.
Give that man a new.
Cheers. Game plan. What game plan?
Can the nutrients in Kellogg's Nutrigrain help a child grow? There's carbohydrates from 3 grains and natural sugarcane. B1, B2 and niacin help release energy from food. And protein to help with the growth and maintenance of healthy muscles. We'll need a few years for these little fellas to take shape. So here's one we prepared earlier. I know it can help.
Welcome back to the men's hockey final. Australia leading 1-0. We have 22 minutes remaining. That was a dangerous pass. And Inderjit does it well. 22 minutes remaining in this first half. The gold medal match. It's been a wonderful start by Australia. Positive. And they have not released the pressure on Malaysia, nor Aslan.
Jimmy Elmer's come on, and Jeremy Hiskins has moved on to the left wing.
And Inderjit, Malaysia just look very anxious at the back at the moment. Shankar, Davies, the veteran, just putting the pressure on, as is Elmer here. Brennan, and one feels that there's going to be a turnover. There is. You can just sense that. They don't look sure at all, Malaysia, at the moment. Jay Stacey, ambitious. Will Davies get there? It came off Inderjit, so he'll get the hit from the side. Brennan is there. Elmer's gone into the circle. Australia will take another hit from the side. Terry Walsh will be very pleased.
He will be very pleased, and that'll be a great contest between Brennan and Keevan.
So a 16-yard hit to Malaysia. Nice skills by Kuhan. Commens is with him. And a professional foul, just to slow things down, get the numbers back in defence.
This Malaysian crowd will be well used to the silent crowd, because in the semi-final, when they played India, India was so dominating, it was almost beyond belief that Malaysia could get out of that game with a win.
Came off Brennan's foot. This is Calvin. Still Calvin. It's a good run.
Great tackle by Sproul.
Sproul he had a wonderful semi-final. He's playing well in this, the big gold medal final. Davies. Stephen Davies coming up to the 25. Jimmy Elmer's with him. Elmer inside. Oh, Smith couldn't trap it. It was Hiskins.
Hiskins was in a good position, and Elmer got him the ball, but the ball just had to be lifted over a stick, and so it bouncing when it arrived with Hiskins.
Lum on the right side. Well done by Duff. And the umpire says play on.
Good play.
The Malaysians wanted a free.
Yeah, good play by Jason Duff. Nice and strong on the ball. Now it's a free hit to Australia, and the umpire puts a fist in the air, indicating that like a relay pass, so that the free hit, in fact, will be taken 10 metres further on.
Jay Stacey, he's just outside the 25. 20 minutes remaining in this first half. Jason Duff has come up. Sproul is out on the left. York, the Australian captain, is at the back, and he feeds it back out to Sproul. The Australians just reassessing their options up forward. Duff goes for a long pass. Oh, nicely done by Davies, off to Holt. And Australia will take the hit just outside the circle. Elmer, can he trap it? Yes, he can. Still great. Jimmy Elmer. Great skills. Still Jimmy Elmer. It's a penalty corner to Australia.
Wonderful skills by Jimmy Elmer. A great overlap by Stephen Holt down the right-hand side, combining with Stephen Davies. Eventually got the ball to Jimmy Elmer in the circle, and you just saw him jink the ball over the stick. Watch this little lift over the stick there, and then a little dummy, and then I'm not exactly sure why it was a penalty corner, but the umpire's given a penalty corner. Australian players will be happy about that. It's their third penalty corner.
They're dangerously close to being out as well, going over that line. Brennan's going back to push in. Well, Australia have already scored from the penalty corner. Adam Commens. Jay Stacey is there again. Hiskins will trap the ball with his stick. There's Michael Brennan. There you can see Jeremy Hiskins. Trap the ball. Stacey with the hit.
Well saved by the keeper.
Rosalind has done well again. And the 18-year-old Lachlan Vivian Taylor has come on.
Stacey hammers the ball, but again, right in the middle of the goal. He'll be looking to get the ball into the corners, getting some angle on those passes.
Hiskins has gone off. So Vivian Taylor comes on. Duff can't trap it. Norsaiful has got it. An exciting player in this Malaysian team. Kuhan. Well, nice pass, but York does well. Duff, this is dangerous. He can't get the shot away. Oh, Kyril.
What an error. Oh, can't believe he missed that goal. Jason Duff, why he went that way, I'll never know, but he pushed the ball straight to Kyril, who's standing in front of the goal. Oh, that's a let-off for Australia.
Well, a huge chance there.
Watch this replay. Duff goes the other way. What? He pushes the ball there straight to Kyril, and Kyril just missed it completely.
This is Commens. Davies coming in. And Australia are going to take a free hit outside the circle. It's gone from one end to the other. Quick break by the Australians. And Brent Livermore looks like he's going to be coming on. Another one of the youngsters in the Australian side. That's another one of them, Lachlan Vivian Taylor. He's number 18. He's 18 years of age.
And he's from Victoria. Here we see the free hit from Stacey. Goes through. There's a deflection, but it went wide.
Well, Malaysia with a golden opportunity to score in this gold medal final.
They don't come any easier than that. That could cost them severely.
And Kyril is in this side as a real finisher, an opportunist. He often gets in around the back of the goalkeeper to score. This is Daniel Sproul. We'll go to Stacey, who's in the centre of the pitch. He goes out to Holt, who's had a good start to the game. Jimmy Elmer. Oh, nice skills from Elmer again. Well done, Elmer. Brennan with the shot. Oh, what a goal by Michael Brennan. Beautifully set up by Jimmy Elmer. It's 2-0 in the gold medal final.
Well, you won't see a better goal than that. Jimmy Elmer, whose form has been quite patchy in the last couple of days, but again, another great piece of brilliant play. And Michael Brennan, the boy from Toowoomba, he's gone absolutely mad in this tournament. He's crashed this into the back of the net. Just watch the skills here from Elmer. He pushes off one, pulls around another, drags on the inside, and good enough to see Brennan at the top, who just lines it up and says, thank you very much. And the goalkeeper had no chance. The crowd is dumbfounded.
Centimetre perfect was the shot by Michael Brennan. This mercurial, he is a wonderful player. He's excited not just the fans here, but his opponents and other teams have commented on his great skills and looks set for a magnificent career in international hockey. Australia leading 2-0, 15 minutes remaining in this first half, and Malaysia, who've fought so gallantly in this tournament, have done incredibly well just to get into the gold medal final. Have a huge task in front of them. Well, Brennan has proven to be the money man, Richard.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's probably in the top 5 hockey players in the world at the moment. The way he's been playing here, even to the point where there's an article in the newspaper this morning in Malaysia written by coach Paul Lissick saying how valuable Brennan is in this Australian lineup, probably their most dangerous forward. One of the reasons he's very dangerous, apart from his very high aerobic fitness and his goal scoring ability, is he's very fast. People underestimate how quick he is, and of course we saw that in the game against England where he burst away in extra time and actually scored the winning goal.
That's his 6th goal for the tournament. They've all been field goals. They've all been gems. We've seen him score some beauties. This is Calvin. Sahaimi. Duff is with him. And well done by Duff. The umpire says play on. Sahaimi does the big 360 and comes back and reclaims it. It's a penalty corner to Malaysia.
Well, I can't believe he didn't give advantage to Jason Duff. Jason Duff had the ball on the end of his stick and he's been pushed in the back and fallen over, and the umpire's called play on. And now there's a penalty corner for Malaysia.
So Malaysia down 2-0. Let's have a look at it.
It's indicated that Daniel Sprouse pushed the Malaysian player with his elbow, and so it's a penalty corner for Malaysia with 21 minutes of play gone.
Well, Damon Deletti is the Australian goalkeeper, one of the best in the business. Norsaiful is there. Nor safer with a shot. Takes a big deflection and relief for the Australian players and the Australian fans.
Absolutely. As you watch that ball, before the match started, we saw them practicing that deflection. The ball goes to the top of the circle. They aim wide for the diving. There's the stick. You saw them looking for the deflection. There was two Malaysian players there.
Another fast break by Australia. Elmer, who's had a wonderful start. Jimmy Elmer. That's another penalty corner to Australia.
Well, Jimmy Elmer's on absolute fire. The other night, he was really quite disappointing in the match, but tonight he's come out. He obviously didn't like sitting on the bench. He started on the bench, and it's absolutely proved to be a match-winning performance by coach Terry Walsh, because when Elmer's gone on, he's just absolutely destroyed this Malaysian defence.
So some of the youngsters, there's Roslan, the young keeper from Malaysia. Some of the youngsters that we mentioned at the start of the match. Brennan's been superb, so has Commens, and some of the selections are really working well for Australia. Looking into the future years. Brennan, Stacey's there, so's Commens. Stacey, he was looking for a deflection. It's another penalty corner.
Yes, they're looking for a deflection to Lachlan Vivian Taylor on the right-hand side, almost a repeat of the penalty corner variation that the Malaysians used, but the Malaysians were there ready, but unfortunately deflected the ball up in the air, and if the ball goes up in the air in any part of the pitch, but certainly in the circle, they'll blow it for dangerous play.
So Michael Brennan again. Comments with a flick. It takes a deflection and it'll be taken from the side. Paul Godoyne has come on for Stephen Holt. So the Western Australian is on the pitch. Davies is looking for a 1-2 with Adam Commens, but Australia will take another free hit. They've been relentless, haven't they, Richard?
They have done. And Kelvin then is really has his hands full with Stacey. Stacey's leading him a merry dance.
Daniel Sproul's told to go back by the ump. Go back further, Daniel, is the call from the umpire. On the 25, it's York. Looked like it might have come off the foot of Kyril. Not so, because he's got possession. York is deceptively quick. You're watching the Commonwealth Games from Kuala Lumpur. Back at the men's hockey final in just a moment.
Meet the Fulls. Dad's the hard-working type. Mum loves the tri-bikes. And the kids, well, they're just thick. With special guest star, Grandma Viagra. Australia's funniest home videos, Tuesday 7:30 on Win. Kelly's Hotel Drive-In Bottle Shop with full service in Browse Lane. We have exactly what you need. A high standard at great prices, like these.
Tooheys New Stubbies and Cans, $24.95 a carton. Tooheys Blue Stubbies, $16.95 a carton. Banrock Station Wines, $5.95 or 13 to the dozen. McCullum Scotch, $19.95 a bottle. And Bundaberg Underproof Rum, $22.95 a bottle.
We even have FPOS at Kelly's Hotel Drive-In Bottle Shop. Your first stop for range, quality and value.
You can't go past the new Mazda Protégé.
returning soon to win.
So you can untie me?
Not today.
All new Caroline in the City with her bizarre bunch of friends.
I'm Floyd Gerber and I feel funny in my pants.
Caroline in the City returns September 28 to win.
Welcome back to the gold medal final for men's hockey. The first time we've seen men's hockey at a Commonwealth Games. And Australia are leading 2-0 with 8 minutes 40 left in this first half. The Australians have been absolutely superb. A spectacular goal from Michael Brennan, but now it's Malaysia on the attack. Brennan, only as far as North Safel. Murnawan, he can't get there. Brennan, well, a series of errors, but in the end, Australia just relieved the pressure somewhat. Out to the in-form Jim Elmer, who's been magnificent. Good run by Vivian Taylor, the teenager. He was looking for Davies, the veteran.
Pass was just a little bit too soft. He needed to put more speed on it, but Elmer's robbed the Malaysian defender again.
It's free to Malaysia.
Australia were a little untidy in defence down there. A number of players fumbled the ball. Of course, there's still some nerves in front of this very big crowd and playing in, for what will be a lot of people, their most important hockey match.
And Brennan in space. And the 1-2. Came off a Malaysian player. Free hit. This could be dangerous for the home side. It goes back to Livermore. Stacey, will he get there? Yes, he will, just in time. Powerful shot! And diving was Lachlan Vivian Taylor, but Safel just got there in time.
Stacey's gone into the forward line, and Livermore's at centre half, Godoyne right half.
Godoyne drives it into the circle, but Shankar is there. Murnawan, the Malaysian captain. Well, Lum had some space on the left, he ignored him. He's coming out to the right, yes he is, to Callis Warren. The option on the left looked better. In fact, now that there's a turnover, it was definitely better. Elmer, will he get there? No, he won't. Nor Aslan does well. Keevan goes out to Chua, who's come on. The youngster, 18-year-old.
Haven't seen much of Chua. Paul Lissig's trying to get something working in this forward line.
This is Keevan. Over the 25. Calvin, good run by Calvin. Who's there? Can they put it in? It's rolling.
Oh.
It eventually comes out.
My first impression was that hit an Australian on the foot. It should have been a penalty stroke. But we'll have to watch the replay. But the umpire's given a penalty corner.
Well, it was just a massive players over the ball.
This was a great run, wasn't it? He went along the goal line. The Australian one players were worried. The ball went back. There was an opportunity there. And after that, it was just a mad scramble with Deleddy and Godoyne there defending the goal.
The main thing from an Australian point of view was that it didn't go in the back of the net. From a Malaysian point of view, penalty corner. Nor Safel is up there, and so is Kuhan. Nor Aslam will stop. There's the Aussies on the line. Stop. The shot from Kuhan intercepted beautifully by Sproul. Well read. Brennan's loose on the left here, and that's where it goes. Michael Brennan on the fast break. Davies with a shot. Oh, what a goal by Stephen Davies! Oh, Australia on fire. It's 3-0.
Absolutely magnificent play out of defence. Look at Terry Walsh. The Australian bench has gone absolutely mad. If they're 3 goals up, there's 30 minutes of play remaining. Stephen Davies, the boy from Parks in New South Wales, traps this and absolutely turns and drills it. And that's why when he first started playing hockey, they called him the Maradona of hockey. His footwork is absolutely superb. Australia 3, Malaysia 0.
That is Stephen Davies' 6th goal of this tournament. And Australia on target. Another superbly positioned shot. A fast break. Brennan again featuring. It's Brennan on the left, Elmer on the right, causing Malaysia all sorts of problems. And that time, Davies in the middle. A rocket-like shot. Well, Australia now leading 3-0 in this gold medal final. They don't want to get carried away, but I'm sure they have golden visions.
They'd rather be in our position than theirs. And Paul Godoyne has been replaced again by Stephen Holt, and I'm sure that's to do with Holt's defensive ability.
Oh, it's a steal by Stacey. Davies again, onto Stacey, just couldn't, very hard to trap it when you're spinning round at speed.
Absolutely, and Livermore was running at the top of the circle, and Stacey was trying to do about 3 things at once then, was to get the ball and knock it to Livermore, but unfortunately he wasn't able to do any of them. But the main thing about this Australian team is they're looking so sharp, so confident. Very important in sport to go into a final, into a big match, feeling confident.
They have been threatening to do this throughout the tournament. They started against India with a blitz with 3 goals. They haven't repeated that form really since this particular match. What better time to do it? No better stage than the world's best hockey stadium with a capacity crowd of 20,000 people. Shankar for Malaysia. The Malaysians really are stunned. Norsaiful. That's lifted, and the advantage is paid. Sproul again on the fast break. Vivian Taylor. Sproul's running with him to his right. He puts Sproul on as he got the pace. Oh, well done by Calvin.
Yes, very good play by Calvin. Lachlan Vivian Taylor just put a little bit too much pace on that ball, but for an 18-year-old playing in this environment, he's handling the situation very well, and as I speak, he's running off, and Matthew Smith will come back on.
Brennan's going to take this from the side. Terry Walsh rotating the changes.
It's going to be very interesting to see how coach Paul Lissick handles this situation. They're 3-0 down. They've been playing quite defensive throughout this tournament. We watch here again.
It's Smith to Holt. Stephen Holt in the circle. Still Holt. Play on's the call. Well, all the players came to a stop. Finally, it's a free hit to Malaysia.
Yeah, Stephen Holt couldn't believe his luck. What a great week for Northern Territory and Darwin, isn't it? I mean, Nova Peris-Kneebone winning a gold medal, and here's Stephen Holt from Darwin also being involved in this campaign by the Australian men's hockey team, and Mark Hickman also from Darwin sitting on the bench as the goalkeeper. It's been a great week for them.
Shankar, who's playing on the right side tonight. Menindajit as the sweeper. Norazlan out on the left. Calvin now in the centre. The options are hard because Australia are back in numbers, closing down that forward thrust, so it comes back out to the right side. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this first half. Decisive half for Australia. Norsaiful, Kuhan. There's lots of traffic around him. Sahaimi, and that will be a free hit off Daniel Sproul. Oh, that's a terrible misunderstanding. And another break.
Matthew Smith will just wait for Michael Brennan.
Ooh, that came off of, well, it looked like it might have come off the foot of Norazlan. The umpire says play on.
Pretty hopeful pass from Matthew Smith over about 80 yards looking for Jimmy Elmer.
Shankar. 40 seconds remaining. Malaysia trailing Australia 3-0. Sproul gets back, and the crowd that's been so vocal, they are great sports fans, the Malaysians. They love their hockey, very knowledgeable too. Norazlan brings it back in. Elmer is with Murnawan. Stolen and hit long by Jeremy Hiskins as the siren goes for the end of a magnificent first half for Australia. They lead 3-0. And it really was a wonderful spectacle. I hope you're enjoying the action. You're watching the 16th Commonwealth Games, back at the men's hockey final in just a moment.
This telecast of the 16th Commonwealth Games brought to you by Telstra.
Barry Otto stars in a special 2-hour episode Murder Call Tuesday.
It all started with Ben and 2 McDonald's Quarter Pounders. And now it's here, McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with cheese, with 2 beef patties and 3 slices of cheese. Only McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with cheese is the official burger of the NRL.
A member of the Australian Physiotherapy Association can help almost anybody move well and stay well.
You got the accent, so with the positive, eliminate the negative. That's on to the affirmative. Don't miss the in between. No, don't you miss with Mr. In Between.
Can you believe John Howard's promised to keep his GST at 10%? 21 out of 23 countries with a GST have seen the rate rise. New Zealand started at 10. It's gone up to 12.5%. Germany started at 10. It's up to 15. Britain from 10 to 17.5%. Denmark from 10 to 25%. Sure, Australia will stay at 10%. Authorised by Barry Jones for the ALP Canberra.
Everything about Uralec cookers makes perfect cooking sense. All the advantages of gas cooking in the new stylish collection of generous capacity upright cookers, double wall ovens and underbench ovens with advanced heat circulation. Burner systems for every type of cuisine. The superbly crafted Uralec range, the best from the world's leading manufacturers.
See the fine range of Uralec ovens and cookers here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and face the flagpoles for the national...
Back at the 16th Commonwealth Games, the medal ceremony for the women's hockey, the gold going to Australia. And we're just about to hear the national anthem, and boy, oh boy, aren't those young women very proud of what they've achieved here today. Young Australian women absolutely beaming there, outstanding team. They've been that way for the decade or so now. They have brought a new skill level to hockey. We've seen a lot of it here tonight in their defeat of England for the gold medal. They knocked them over 8-1, and we saw some terrific hockey played by a lot of very, very talented individuals. None more so than the Australian capital, Rochelle Hawkes, who's with Paul Lockyer right now.
Well, Rochelle, you've played a lot of games and a lot of competitions. What does this mean to add this trophy to the cabinet?
Oh, this is just fantastic. I mean, it's Commonwealth Games. We've never participated in one before. It means so much to Australians, and I mean, we were just thrilled to get a victory today and do it so emphatically. I mean, this is probably the best final I've ever played in.
Rick said that he thought it took you a while to get together in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. I think we started off pretty slowly. We didn't get together as a team. We weren't communicating that well, and we were a bit all over the place. But we settled down probably 10 minutes into the first half, and then I think we really started to play some fantastic hockey and overran them. And it was just, I mean, it was an unbelievable score. I mean, you never go into a game thinking that you're going to win a final 8-1, and I mean, I'm just absolutely thrilled.
And what about the support here tonight?
Oh,
half
man.
the Commonwealth Games team is here.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. This brings back memories of Atlanta, same sort of thing. I mean, everyone's so patriotic, and they just want to get into the swing of things, and they paint themselves green and gold. And I mean, we just want to really thank the crowd, because you were just fantastic.
What does it mean to you personally to have a Commonwealth gold now in the cabinet?
Personally, I mean, I guess it's just another feather in my cap. I mean, I've been to 3 Olympic Games now. We've won 2 gold medals, won 2 World Cups, won a number of Champions trophies, and this is something different, never competed in one. And personally, I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, because, you know, you just want to, I guess, get as many rewards as you can from the sport, because you're not in it for a long time. And I mean, this is just a great moment, because I've seen some of the fantastic performances of Australians, such as Susie O'Neill, Nova Perez, and, you know, a few others. And I mean, you just really want to be a part of that, and we're just overwhelmed.
And Nova Peris-Kneebone is up there in the stands. She was watching tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, we spoke to her last night and she said, I'm going to come and support you girls, because we were just thrilled with her victory. We were all sitting around the television watching it, and we just thought she's just done us proud, so we want her to come out tonight and support us and do her proud. So I think we've both done a good job.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Well, that's the first part of the double, the Australian women winning their match and taking out the gold medal. Right now we're going out to the sports stadium once again for the second half. Australia is leading Malaysia 3-0 at the break. And our commentators are Michael Thompson and Richard Agus. And I'm just wondering, can the Malaysians regroup here, or do you see Australia just getting stronger and stronger?
Ken, we're just talking about that just off air. And it's interesting, Richard, I think Australia had a great start to the tournament when they played India, and they were leading 3-0 at half-time. India scored 2 quick goals straight after half-time, and things all of a sudden changed. What is it important for Australia to do inside at half-time before they come out and play out their second half?
Well, I think it's very important that, first of all, we should state quite categorically, this game's not over. The crowd here has been very quiet. This crowd could start making a lot of noise and trying to lift this Malaysian team. Very important for the Australian defence to be tight and solid, and I think that's why they'll start with Holt at right half again, Stacey back in the middle, and the 2 fullbacks and Sproul continuing to do what they're doing. And I think one of the things that's very important is to keep the tempo in the game that we like to play. Hit the ball long occasionally, play in close occasionally, allow Brennan and Commens to run. Jimmy Elmer's having a fantastic game on the right wing. Matthew Smith's done some great things, and they keep all of the players involved and shift the ball. Then this young Malaysian team, who after all aren't very experienced internationally, are playing a new style of hockey. Some of their key players have done nothing in this match to date. If the Australian can control the ball, they'll control this game, they'll run out winners. I would think the first 10 minutes of the second half are going to be crucial, and our minds go back to that Indian game where India scored 2 goals in 10 minutes.
Australia for a long time have had the monkey on their back, so to speak, in men's hockey, almost since they lost the gold medal in the gold medal final against New Zealand at Montreal in 1976, when they were expected to win. They won the World Cup under yourself as coach in 1986, but it's just been times where they haven't quite perhaps fulfilled what a lot of people have expected. Could this in some way help to turn that around, do you think, for the Australian men's hockey team to win gold here?
Oh, it certainly would be an important part of the process. The public perception is that the Australian men's hockey team stumble at the semi-finals, but we have to keep this in perspective. The Australian men's team's not playing Germany or Holland or Spain today. They're playing Malaysia. Malaysia actually finished in the bottom half of the pool at the recent World Cup. Now, I'm the first to acknowledge they have improved, but most teams don't improve that much that quickly. What they've done at the Commonwealth Games has been absolutely superb, and I'm not detracting from that at all. But the Australian men's hockey team finished 4th at the World Cup and should really be expected to win this match and win it comfortably.
Now, the goals that Australia scored, they really were superb. And I think one of the important things, you mentioned the young players who have done so well. And we saw that the set plays, but Michael Brennan has really been superb, hasn't he? That second goal was just outstanding.
Yes, we watched this play here by Elmy. Beats 1, beats 2, drags in time, knocks the ball to Brennan, who absolutely cannons it past the goalkeeper. Now, the goalkeeper from Malaysia, Roslin, has been in superb form, and there's Brennan. Absolutely loves that, and why not? Scoring a magnificent goal in a gold medal game at the Commonwealth Games. It doesn't get much better than that.
The accuracy too, both Stephen Davies scored another superb goal from just inside the circle, and the accuracy, I mean, almost centimetre perfect just on the side of the net.
Well, we'll better get a look at that from this angle, and you can see from the top of the circle, which is 16 yards, he's inside the post by about by about an inch. So absolutely superb goal. Now here's the other goal coming. Again, Brennan involved. Stephen Davies, the boy from Parks, absolutely hammers it into the corner.
Not much chance for the goalkeeper because they're so well placed, aren't they?
Absolutely no chance at all. And if you actually look at that replay again, you'll see that one of the Australian forwards was partly obscuring the goalkeeper's vision, and Davies hit the ball and hit it very hard. Look at him, how happy is he? Again, and his footwork is that good, and he gets the shot at goal, and in fact I think that was Lachlan Vivian Taylor there obscuring the goalkeeper.
Okay, so we can see the Malaysian team is back out there. They're in the team huddle under coach Paul Lissick, who is probably the most successful coach in international hockey going around, and very much a defensive style though. To now get back from 3-0 down, they're going to have to change that philosophy, aren't they, and perhaps open themselves up at the back again.
Well, that's the problem they've got, of course. Paul Lissick's only been with this team for 10 weeks, done a magnificent job, as we've already said. But now to change makes it very difficult. because if he was coaching Germany now at the team he coaches full-time, he would have the players to be able to make that happen. Now he's going to rely on this man on your screen, Minor One, the captain of Malaysia, Shankar, who has done very little in this game, number 8, and of course one or two of the other players like Saiful on the right wing. It'll be a question of how quickly they can get back into this game and get the crowd on their side.
All right, well, the crowd has found voice again. They were silent for a while, on 3 occasions in particular, when Australia scored each time. There's a good Australian support staff here. There's Terry Walsh, the Australian coach. Was a magnificent player himself, a great striker during the 80s. We're ready for a start to this second half. Off we go, 35 minutes remaining of normal time in this match. Duff, that's a fairly wild shot to start with, and Stacey clears. Now Matthew Smith is going to try and run this down. No, he won't. He started to and worked up a good head of steam, but realised it was going to get beaten. So it'll be Maninderjit to bring the ball back for Malaysia. The Australians press up on Maninderjit, keeping the pressure on. Davies doing it well, so Smith. Nur Aslan. They have to be careful, and it's off a foot, so the Malaysians are turnover. The pressure from Australia is very good at the back.
Yes, they apply the press very well. Stephen Davies, Jay Stacey in particular, are very good at the press. There's a great ball
Commens again. Superb ball for Hiskins. Back to Commens. Inside the circle. Hiskins.
A goal! No, it's not. It's gone out.
It's a penalty corner to Australia. It looked like it was going to go into the back of the net.
Well, I thought it was an own goal because it deflected back towards the keeper, and Matthew Smith was there, but of course, as soon as the ball goes in the end, watch here. Now, Commens slips the ball back to Hiskins, and then it deflects, and it almost went in, as you can see. And as soon as the ball went in the air, the umpire had to award a penalty corner before someone got hurt. And this is Australia's 5th penalty corner.
On the offensive early. Hiskins will stop. There's the Malaysians getting ready. Stacey is up, so is Commens. Watch out for Davies. That's Michael Brennan. He'll push the ball back. Stacey, he was looking for a deflection from Matthew Smith.
Matthew Smith seemed to be a bit close in. Jay's just talking to him about his positioning. They were looking for the deflection, but Matthew Smith seemed to be a little close in as we watched the ball pushed out by Brennan. It's just near the top. And there's Matthew Smith, but he wasn't down and alert. The ball was probably a little bit too quick for him.
Adam Commens there, involved in a scuffle with Calvin. Calvin gets up, he's all right. And Nur Saiful takes the hit. Sahaimi. Oh, nice turn by Sahaimi, though Sproul does well. Shankar's up, he wants to be careful. To Calvin over the 25.
Brilliant trap. Nonchalant as you like, wasn't it? Just trapped the ball absolutely dead.
The Australian captain, Michael York, deft skills defending there, did that so easily. Stacey, Smith is on the right side. Matthew Smith. Stacey's back on the inside. That's where he goes. Stephen Davies, can he trap it? No, he can't. The pass from Stacey wasn't good.
Stephen Davies made a beautiful lead off the ball. Jay Stacey's pass was just a little wide. But as you say, the Australian team coming out of defence then with Brennan, first of all, and then Commens, was very impressive.
Trapped nicely by Brennan. Michael Brennan running towards the circle. That's a free hit just outside the circle. Came off a Malaysian. Stacey. Stacey with a shot, looking for a deflection. It just went wide.
It was a good pass.
Jeremy Hiskins coming in late.
So I think he got a small edge on it, but it wasn't enough from that angle. He needed to have a firmer grip and get more of the stick onto the ball. But it was a nice set piece.
So Australia leading 3-0.
Yes, he did get a little edge on it, but just not enough. It was a wonderful pass by Stacey.
We've played 4 minutes in this second half. The gold medal final. Davies. And Australia will maintain possession. Commens will take it from the side. Daniel Sproul lifts. Can he put Davies on? No. Maninderjit gets back. It's lifted. The question is who lifted it.
Yeah, it'll be a free hit for Malaysia. I think they had the ball when it was lifted.
So North Safel comes off Daniel Sproul.
Malaysia are very determined to play down the right-hand side all the time. This is the normal German tactic employed by coach Paul Lissig. Where they've got the players to put it into effect, something else.
So the break from Australia, but the pass from Commens to Davies is not good. This is Kuhan. Kuhan now. Oh, nice ball to Callis-Warren. He has to go back. Kuhan. Murnawan. York is with him.
Oh, great tackle, Daniel Sproul. He's having a great game. Daniel Sproul, born in Victoria actually, but lived all his life in Tasmania, playing for Tasmania.
Inside the circle, it took a deflection, but it's going to be a free hit to Australia. It was lifted. So Malaysia with an awesome task in front of them. They need 3 goals just to level it. And we've got 29 minutes left in this gold medal final. Michael York is the Australian captain. The pass was to Jay Stacey, but it was hit with such power, he found it difficult to trap cleanly.
Well, Malaysia persisting with their right side attack.
Kuhan. Shankar has come up. Back to Kuhan. This is Murnawan. It's a penalty corner to Malaysia.
And that's exactly what they wanted. They've been working the ball into that area. And one of the problems Australia have in this situation, when the ball gets on the left-hand side, Michael York doesn't flick the ball very well and therefore has to hit it, and they have been having trouble getting it out. They just have to work out another way of getting the ball out of defence on that side. But this is quite dangerous for the Australian team. They wouldn't want Malaysia to score this early into the second half.
OK, who's there for Malaysia? We've got Kuhan, North Safel, that's Daniel Sproul on the line. Kuhan couldn't get the flick, he slipped at a crucial moment. Look at this turnover. Australia have got big numbers forward here. Stacey to Brennan, can he get the shot? Oh, all it needed was for Matthew Smith to get an edge.
Or Jeremy Hiskins, they were both there. The fast break again, the power play worked beautifully. Paul Lissig can't believe the mistakes that the Malaysians are making on their penalty corners and falling over there. You just wouldn't believe it. But that game, that's the nerves.
Australia devastating on the fast break. Malaysia have looked exposed so often. Australia's had big numbers forward.
Don't know how that missed.
This is Stephen Holt. It's a nice ball to Davies. Nice one too. Michael Brennan, can he put it there?
Penalty stroke. Has to be a penalty stroke. Michael Brennan couldn't take a backswing because the Malaysian player was running in the line of the backswing, but I suspect the umpire gave Davies the advantage.
Comes back to Jason Duff. In the past 2 minutes, Australia have suddenly snapped back into gear. They looked a little bit quiet in the early stages of that second half, but 2 superb runs and 2 chances at goal. Shankar, Keevan on the right. This is Kyril, and an aggressive Adam Commens, happy to give away the free hit just to slow things down. Jimmy Elmer has come on for Jeremy Hiskins. Elmer, one of the stars of the first half. Keevan gives it back to Shankar. Murnawan. Keevan can't trap it.
They're very keen to play that ball in the right-hand corner, simply because they're on their forestick. Now watch this one of Brennan. First of all, that's a penalty stroke right there, but he gave Davies the free shot at goal and Davies couldn't put it away.
Australia are leading 3-0. You're watching the 16th Commonwealth Games, back at the men's hockey final in just a moment.
On our house, a kit workbench.
It's something even the inexperienced would be able to assemble in around an hour.
Giving old cabinets a facelift, plus a novel way to show off the family snaps.
Mum and Dad are going to love these.
And at home with Sally Ann, Our House Wednesday.
Here's how to make it to all the big movie premieres this year. See Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire during September. In October, catch One Fine Day.
Are you talking about me?
And Sylvester Stallone in Daylight. And in November, don't forget Mr. Bean and The Castle. With Showtime on All-Star, you'll see all the big premiere movies in your home. Call All-Star now on 132432.
When John Howard attacked the rights of Australian workers, Pauline Hanson stood up and voted against him. Right? Wrong. Beazley did. When Howard made it harder to get nursing home care, Pauline Hanson voted against him. Right? Wrong. Beazley did. And when Howard cut back childcare places, did Pauline Hanson vote against him? Beazley did. So why vote for Labor? Because Labor votes for you. Authorised by Barry Jones for the ALP Canberra.
It's great!
It's great, all right. The greatest personal loan rate is great value. Right now, you can get a $5,000 loan and pay just $24 a week.
It's great!
What about a $10,000 loan and pay only $48 a week?
It's great!
Or a $15,000 loan and pay just $72 a week over 5 years?
It's great!
Greater personal loans turned around in 24 hours. But for these low rates, hurry. Call 13 13 86.
Hi, I'm Pete, the Power-Safe Possum. Trimming trees near overhead power lines can be dangerous. Often they can be hidden by branches or difficult to see in bright daylight. Always work well away from them. Be alert and alive. Look up, around and survive.
How would you like to walk the red carpet with the stars? Connect to All Star today, where you'll see the big premiere movies on Showtime. Plus, you could win a trip to LA to attend a major Hollywood movie premiere. Call All Star now, 132432.
He's up there with the heroes of Australian sport.
You're one hell of a great athlete.
Share the highs and lows of an Aussie champion.
A real story of guts and determination.
Find out who he is on This Is Your Life, Thursday 8:30 on Win.
Welcome to the men's hockey stadium. If you've just joined us, Australia are leading 3-0. We're in the second half of this gold medal final against Malaysia. Australia have dominated this match. Goals from Commens, Brennan and Davies. And they are continuing to dominate in this, the second half. We have 23 minutes remaining in this match. And Malaysia have an epic struggle to get back into it. This is Logan, the 17-year-old.
What an experience for a 17-year-old in front of 20,000 people. He's only played about 3 internationals for Australia. There's this Malaysian, sorry, for Malaysia, that was the Malaysian bench.
Menindajit comes out to Noor Aslan. Holt just able to help poke it out. Chua will take it from the side. Try a little 1-2 with Keevan, but Keevan decides to go on his own, and that comes off the foot of Holt. Nicely done by Keevan. He hurt his hand with a little knock from the stick of Holt, but Keevan's all right. Paul Lissick realising the grim struggle ahead. Players coming forward. That goes out to Lum. He can't trap it. There'll be a turnover, and Daniel Sproul will bring it back in. Sproul, nice run. Oh, beautiful ball. Can he get there in time, Jimmy? Great dive from Noor Aslan. That took courage.
Lachlan Vivian Taylor's back on. Commens goes off.
Lerner won. And Livermore was with him. The free hit outside the circle to Malaysia. Logan takes it. And it's going to be another free hit just outside the circle. And Australia get numbers back. In fact, there are 8 Australians inside the circle as they await this hit. Seyful takes it. Well, a diving Kyril could not get enough on it to get it in the back of the net. So Australia stand firm again. Their defence has been very good, yes, apart from one mistake early.
Very important save, that one. We watched there. There's a little deflection, but the lady was there, and the ball went back and hit the goalkeeper, hit the Malaysian player on the leg.
Holt again finding some space on the right. Still with Holt. Good run. Brennan. Lachlan Vivian Taylor trying to control it. It's a penalty corner to Australia.
Well, the big man, Stephen Holt, is having a devastating effect on this game. He's running through their fence, The overlapping play has been absolutely superb, and when you remember he's 6'6" tall, he really does that very well. And it's interesting that he's got the nod in this gold medal game in front of Paul Godoy, and he certainly hasn't let Terry Walsh down. He's been absolutely superb.
All right, the players gather. What variation will they use when you take penalty corners? Most teams have about 4 or 5. Whether it's hit with power, whether it's flicked or then diverted to another player who gathers round the top of the circle. Stacey's there, so is Livermore. Elmer is there as well. The shot from Livermore, and Brennan hits it. It's a goal! Oh, an amazing goal from Michael Brennan.
How did he get that in?
It's a reverse flick, and it has gone in on a very, very tight angle. And Brennan, he's the hero of this Australian team.
Watch this penalty corner. I don't think anybody knew actually what happened. The ball went left, there's the drag flick, there's a deflection which is going wide, and Brennan comes from nowhere and reverses it, and it's an in off the goalkeeper, and Rosalind has played it in with his shoulder. There we see it from the other angle. How Brennan got a stick on that, I've got no idea, and poor Rosalind, who's been absolutely the hero of this Malaysian team throughout the week, played one in off, and that's 4-0 to Australia. And you'd have to be very, very confident that Australia are going to win the gold medal from here.
Michael Brennan's 7th goal of this tournament. He's produced another slice of magic for Australia. Logan. Menindajit, Malaysia. Well, it seems the battle is almost over for them. 19 minutes remaining, 4 goals just to get back on even par.
The way the Australian players are working, the way Terry Walsh is utilising the interchange so well, it's hard to see Malaysia getting back into this game, and some of the crowd in fact are already drifting off as I speak, which and it's a bit early for that. There's 18 minutes of play remaining.
Kyril is back on for Malaysia.
Oh, Holt, long reach, safe tackling.
That was lifted off the stick of Jay Stacey, but play on is the call. Well done by Lachlan Vivian Taylor. A lot of pressure on Lum. Menindajit will come back to Lum. Australia, 2 goals from Michael Brennan. 2 superb goals from Brennan. A fine goal from Davies. And a beautifully taken penalty corner from Adam Commens scored. Australia will take a free hit, and Malaysia just haven't been able to get anything working either around or inside the circle. Perhaps they can now. The fast break over the 25. Logan, the 17-year-old, they'll get the free hit.
Great experience for Logan and Kyril and Keevan for this Malaysian team.
Kuhan, Blum, Stacey to clear. Oh, Australia have got some space here. Vivian Taylor is to the right of Davies.
Look at Stacey go on the left.
Who's he going to go to? He goes to Stacey. Will he get the shot away? The flick, will it go in?
Oh, great save by the goalkeeper. What a great run by Jay Stacey. He's run 80 metres.
Jimmy Elmer's going to take this very quickly. Australia have been at their most damaging on the fast break. Malaysia have had no answer. This is Elmer. Off to Davies, a shot! Oh, it's directly at Rosalind and just thrust his chest out.
Just parried it away with
Australia still with a chance here. They're frantic. A sea of sticks, another shot at the goal, and finally it goes across the back line. Malaysia will take a 16-yard hit, and that man there, Rosalind, under amazing pressure.
It's a great pass here from Stephen Davies to Jay Stacey, who's run a long, long way from defence. The ball goes out, and after that there's at least another 4 shots.
Well, the Australian women's hockey team took gold earlier tonight. The men look like they're going to follow suit. 16 minutes remaining, 4-0 the scoreline. Elmer, oh, nicely done again by Elmer, has had a wonderful night. Back in form, Jimmy Elmer.
It's interesting, he's back in form as a striker rather than as inside forward, where they were trying to play him early on, but the improved form and the great showing of Commens has allowed them to play Jimmy Elmer in the forward line as a striker.
Calvin, a good run that puts Callis-Warren on. Callis-Warren, with him is Duff. Kuhan. So Jaime can't trap it, but the Australian captain, as usual, can trap it and just safely put it to the side.
Well, Sproul and York have been absolutely superb on that left-hand side. And Sproul there, probably one of the best three players for Australia.
Lum with a shot inside, and Sproul, the man that Richard Agus was talking about, gets Matthew Smith on his way. Vivian Taylor is in the centre. He decides to wait for more support. It comes in the form of Sproul. Godoin, Paul Godoin. And Australia are leading 4-0. You're watching the Commonwealth Games from Kuala Lumpur. Back at the men's hockey final, just a moment.
British Mystery at its best, an all-new Wycliffe, Wednesday on Win Television.
Come 2000, the Olympic torch will start its journey from Athens to Australia. When it reaches our shores, thousands of everyday Australians will have the opportunity to carry it. And nearly every Australian will have the chance to see it. The Sydney 2000 Olympic Torch Relay. Another example of how we're helping the dreams of Australians come true.
AMP?
AMP.
Josh, what about Brian? Brian? He's quick, and his dad takes his team to McDonald's for breakfast after. Brian?
McDonald's, the only place for breakfast.
2 and 3.
The Musso has always been the most powerful four-wheel drive in its class, thanks to the advanced technology of Germany's most prestigious car maker. And nothing has changed, except that now the Musso is sold and serviced by Daewoo. So 3 years scheduled servicing is included. There's more muscle in a Musso.
This is definitely the last time.
Repco part number LR34. We carry the largest range of parts, like 6 litres of Repco oil for $11.98. Nava driving lights with clear protectors and wiring kit for $89 each. And MotorGuard all seasons car covers in all sizes, just $59 each. So you see, there's more parts to Repco than you think.
Welcome back to Kuala Lumpur. Australia are leading in this gold medal final 4-0 against Malaysia in the men's hockey. And they have continued to drive forward throughout the match. They've dominated it against the young Malaysian side. And with just 13 minutes remaining, the Australians are dreaming of gold. They can smell it. They can almost touch it. It's not far away. Sproul, been one of Australia's best. Stacey, Godoin, Paul Godoin, Jaime put the pressure on but gave away a free hit.
Godoin's playing in the forward line for Australia now.
And there's a turnover. Chua bringing it out. He's robbed. Was beset upon by 4 Australians.
Yeah, this Australian defence is really working very well tonight. They've made 1 or 2 errors only, and there's basically been no passengers in the Australian team at all.
This is Jimmy Elmer. Oh, inside the circle. Nicely done by him. A play on is the call by the umpire. Keevan. Callas Warren. And he just puts it off the boot of Jimmy Elmer to get the free hit. Chua's not sure which way to go. He decides to go with Callas Warren. Elmer. And a cat and mouse game that remains in possession of Malaysia. Nur Aslan, Chua, and not a good pass from him. So Australia get the turnover. There's Terry Walsh, his first
happy man,
first major success as Australian coach.
Absolutely, and the Commonwealth Games gold medal is well worth having, of course, but probably more important from Terry's point of view, and I'm sure he'll say this in the match conference after, the development of these young players in terms of building towards Sydney, part of his long-term planning, has been very, very encouraging. And as we've said earlier, a number of them have really stood up.
This is Kyril, who gives it back to Kuhan. It finds its way back to the left side of Nor Aslan. Callis-Warren, Holt, who reaches in but gives away a free hit. Nor Aslan comes up. He goes back to Menindajit, who will go out to Kuhan on the right. This is Murnawan, and the captain gives it back to Kyril. The 1-2, it's back with Murnawan. This is Calvin. Calvin with a shot that was
deflected by Sprouse. It'll be a free hit to Malaysia. The interesting thing about this Malaysian team, Shankar hasn't been on the field for about 15 minutes.
Murnawan with a shot. Fell us in front. Sahaimi spun around but could not connect stick with ball. So Australia on the fast break. Matthew Smith. He's got great pace. Smith. It's just he and the keeper. Back to Brennan. Can he get the shot away? And over the top by Michael Brennan. It almost seemed too easy.
Almost too easy. Michael Brennan had probably too much time. Didn't need to hit it as high as he wanted to, as we see the Malaysian bench looking on. But that was great pace by Matthew Smith. And he's really played very well the last two matches. In two of the big matches, you can see Brennan there. Went for the crossbar and over the top.
Crunch time for the Australians, and Matthew Smith has certainly been there in the semi-finals. He scored and has helped set up some wonderful plays in this match for Australia, and this is the gold medal final. Brennan, the star of the tournament for Australia. 7 goals, crucial goals, decisive goals.
Brent Livermore, another of the young guns who've played very well. Born in Grafton in New South Wales.
Kyril steals that and sets up Nor Saiful. We haven't seen much of him in this second half. Quickly takes it Calvin, and it was lifted. I think it hit Calvin's body as well, so the Australians will take it. Michael York assessing his options. Which way will he go? He'll go straight to Nor Saiful, not the intended path. Godoin and Nor Saiful on the 25. The Malaysian bench looks sombre, but they really should feel very proud of their achievements.
Oh, they've done remarkably well, absolutely brilliantly.
Kuhan and Smith tangling. Kuhan wins the day. Both teams look tired in this sweltering heat, the humidity. It's been a tiring 11 days of competition.
Oh, great tackle, Brett Livermore.
Elmer does well and relieves the pressure. We've got 8 minutes remaining. Australia leading 4-0. It could have easily been 5-0 a short time ago. Brennan had a shot on goal.
Well, there's probably been 3 absolute sitters in this half, so it could well have been 7 or 8. A very similar scoreline to the Australian women. And really, the Malaysian team has really struggled to penetrate the sound defence of the Australian. And every time they've broken away, the Australian team have really punished their defence. It's only really been the goalkeeping that's kept them out. Rosalind first, and now Moed, who's come on to play what we think is probably his first game of the Commonwealth Games.
And he is on to make sure that he can claim a silver medal. You have to have spent at least a portion of a match on the pitch to get a silver medal. The Australians, their 16-man squad, all will get gold medals. They've all spent time on the pitch throughout this tournament.
And they deserve it. They've played very, very well, probably only for about 20 minutes of the match against South Africa, where they've poor. The rest of the time, they were very, very good, and certainly in some parts of the game against India, New Zealand, we see Australia break away
again. This is Brennan going over the 25, and a nice tackle in the end by Menindajit. He's been one of their better players throughout. There's Sahaimi. Brennan goes back to Duff. Australia have scored 26 goals so far during the tournament. Malaysia 10. It gives you an idea of the attacking styles and the conversion rate of the two teams. Nor Saiful, Calvin, Sprowler's with him. It's still Calvin. It's a good run. Nor Saiful with a big shot.
Deflected off York's arm. It'll be a long corner for Malaysia. the whole Australian team, bar one, are back in defence.
Norsaful.
Another deflection, so it'll be a free hit to Malaysia just outside the circle.
So pressure on the Australian defence. Deletti, the Australian goalkeeper, just directing traffic, and the players grouping, covering. Norsaful goes, and it's stolen by Holt so easily. Came off the foot of Norsaful, and the Australians diffused that attack cleanly and simply.
There's a shot there, and York running in, just deflected it over the top.
Calvin does well. Murnawan. And Livermore. Once again, very cool back there. This is Holt. Back to Davies.
One of the good things about Brent Livermore is he gets down very low in and around the circle's edge. We see Commens running.
Keevan. Michael Brennan is off for a spell. Jay Stacey has come on. This is Callis-Warren. And he was looking for Calvin, but the pass was not a good one. It'll be a 16-yard hit for Australia.
Yes, there's some tired bodies on this pitch now, as you would expect. There's a lot of emotional energy expended last night in the semi-finals, and then come out and do it again against an Australian team that were here to play. It was always going to be a hard job by the Malaysians.
And remember, both teams went into extra time in their semi-finals. The Australians spent time up here in Malaysia before the Commonwealth Games just to acclimatise, to make sure they could handle these humid conditions. It's paid dividends tonight. Keevan. We've got 4 minutes remaining in this gold medal match. Australia are going to win the gold medal. Malaysia continue to battle on.
Noor Aslan never gives up, does he? Number 6 for Malaysia. He's been there in every match. He's only not a big man by any stretch of the imagination.
Duff. The attempted trap by Elmer, not successful. Noor Aslan will figure again to Keevan.
I like the look of Keevan. I think we'll see a lot of him. It's a chance for Australia on the breakaway.
Elmer to find Lachlan Vivian Taylor. Menindijit got back and just put out his stick. Intercepted quite comfortably in the end. Calvin. Want to be careful, Malaysia. It's stolen. Commens. The break with Davies. 2 veterans there. Stacey, 270 games. Gives it to Davies, 238.
Oh, it's good deflection by Matthew Smith, but it actually hit the goalkeeper and bounced outside the circle. A lovely pass from Stephen Davies. Watch this ball here. Smith deflects it. The goalkeeper closes him down. The ball flies out of the circle. Malaysian free hit.
Lots of changes by the Australians. I'm sure they'll be jostling to see who'll be on the pitch when the siren goes.
Well, I think the senior members of the team will be there. Davies, Stacey, Deletti and York. I'm sure they'll be there.
Kuhan bringing it out for Malaysia. Sahaimi. Sproul is with him.
Oh,
Stephen Holt, who's had a superb game.
Had a blinder, absolute blinder. He's just his basics are so good.
Out onto the left. This is Hiskins. Jeremy Hiskins. Nice run by Jeremy Hiskins. Penalty corner to Australia. And with just 2 minutes remaining on the clock, Australia with another chance to score. They lead 4-0.
It's the 4th penalty corner. As you watch Jeremy Hiskins, he gets bumped by the Malaysian defender. So the umpire pretty much says penalty corner, Australia.
So the Australians, they're exhausted, but they are also delighted because they know it's very close. What will they do? What will the variation be? Can they make it 5-0? Michael Brennan will push back in. There's the push. Stacey, Commens, will he get the shot? Is there a deflection? There was a deflection. It was Michael Brennan who ran very quickly. Remember, Brennan pushed the ball back in, but then got on the other side of the net.
He's having a little laugh to himself, Michael Brennan. He really enjoys his hockey. And why wouldn't you when you can play as well as he does?
Holt to Davies.
Behind the ball, behind the ball, behind the ball.
It's interesting, there's probably 15,000 people left the stadium since Australia scored the 4th goal.
And almost Stephen Davies able to steal that. It's Malaysia's ball again. Well, Australia are preparing to celebrate because they're going to win the gold medal here at these Commonwealth Games. Can they get one more goal? Michael Brennan offloads to Commens. Hiskins to his left. Comes back to Holt. This is Matthew Smith. Back to Stephen Holt. They'll have one last drive. Stacey goes back to his captain, who goes back to Duff. And the clock is running down. There's 17 seconds remaining.
The cheering started. The Australian bench is up. Coach Terry Walsh is up.
The clock is counting down. 5 seconds. It's all over. Australia has won the gold medal in the men's hockey, and deservedly so. A historic moment for Australian hockey. The first time we've seen hockey at the Commonwealth Games. And Australia has got the double. They've won gold in the women's and they've won gold in the men's. And Richard Agus, what a superb performance by the Australians tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to every member of the Australian team and Coach Terry Walsh. They were absolutely superb. Stephen Davies, Jay Stacey, Michael York, who have been involved with this team for a very long time. Some of them weren't around in 1986 when we won the World Cup. For these people, this is their first gold medal. That man on your screen there, Jason Duff, played very well in the final. But Stephen Davies, and I really feel for these three. They've been around for a long, long time. They've got silver medals, bronze medals, and now to come to a Commonwealth Games and get a gold medal. Congratulations to everybody. A fantastic performance and an absolutely emphatic win.
Australia dominating. For the record, Australia won the gold medal final 4-0. Malaysia will take the silver, and the Australians ecstatic. They came here as favourites, and as so often is the way, they were carrying a very heavy weight of expectation, but they've handled that so well. And there's Terry Walsh, the Australian coach. He took a bit of a gamble and picked a young side, and the young players have lifted for he and their country in a magnificent way. You can see some of the youngsters. There's Brent Livermore and Stephen Davies, the veteran. Davies, who's played 238 internationals. And we see the first goal for Australia, Adam Commens, who got them underway, and from then on it was almost a procession.
It certainly was. Adam Commens from Wagga in New South Wales, just another one of the stars that have come from New South Wales, that famous country town of Wagga. There's a heap of them, and he has now joined the list because he played beautifully. Here's Brennan, another player from country Australia, from Toowoomba in Queensland. Here he is involved in the next one. Another country player, Stephen Davies from Parkes in New South Wales. They're just queuing up to hit goals, and probably the number of chances they created, they probably should have hit 7 or 8. It's Michael Brennan. The ball goes to the top of the circle. There's a little fumble here. And how this goes in, we're still waiting to see. But Brennan comes from nowhere, and on his reverses it in. And Roslin, the goalkeeper from Malaysia, knocks it into the net, but it'll go down in the record book as a goal for Brennan. And there's the Australian team, Jim Irvine, Graham Reid, the physiotherapist.
And they turn to this crowd. The crowds have been incredible here. The Malaysians love their hockey so much. It's been one of the feature sports for them, and we've had capacity crowds every night. And they understand their hockey so well. So a wonderful night, a historic night for Australian hockey. Gold medal to Australia in the men's. And Ken, we have some delighted people here at the Bukit Jalil Stadium.
You're right about that, Michael. Delighted back here at our broadcast centre also, because so often, as we've seen in the past, the Australian men's hockey team have been expected to win some of the big ones, and just at the last moment or so they've suffered disappointment. But not tonight. They've got the gold medal. Congratulations to them. Well done, and we'll have more at the 16th Commonwealth Games right after the break.